are you? Today I decided to do something a little bit different, and I decided to film a video based on what people think I should do. So I asked my Facebook friends and got a compilation of ideas that were really cool. Someone wanted a morning routine, skincare routine, like a full face, and a hair routine, so I did all of that. Stay tuned, lots of interesting stuff coming today. Good morning. Today I wanted to do some video ideas from friends of mine on Facebook, and one of them was to do a morning routine. And I don't think it's fair to start my morning routine halfway through. I think to really get the full gist, you kind of have to know that I lay in a blanket burrito for about 45 minutes to an hour before I'll get out of bed. So there's step one. Okay, step two is to literally find any sort of tank top in my drawer and sweatpants. I already have on, so I'm gonna put on this tank top, and yeah. I also usually weigh myself every morning, because who doesn't like to start off, their day with crying and being angry that they ate 6 packs of ramen last night. I am not a morning person at all. So for the next 45 minutes to an hour, I'm basically going to sit and drink coffee and go through my Facebook memories and Snapchats and not move. Someone also said I should do a skincare routine, and my skin is not that great. Good morning, how are you? But anyway, this is Noxzema Classic Clean Moisturizing Cleansing Cream. It smells so good. And then I use this little Foreo thing that I got in my FabFitFun box. It's supposed to have an app with it to sense your skin with those little gold things. And I could never get the app to work. I basically just turn it on and rub it all over my face until it's done. All done. And then I rinse it. I still have eye boogers. And that's how you know it's real. Alright, so somebody on my Facebook wanted me to do a video of how I don't use shampoo. So I guess I was going to do that by showing you guys what I do with my hair. This is a one and only argan oil restorative mask. You can get it at Sally's. And basically I just take a bunch of it and I do it in sections of my hair. There's this thing called the Curly Girl Method, and it's all over Instagram if you want to look into it. But basically it's a series of steps and tips and things you should and should not do to help out with curly hair. So I started looking into that, and they're like, don't use shampoo. So it's definitely not for everybody. Even if you have straight hair, I think it's not a bad idea to try to cut back on how much you shampoo your hair. Just because every time you shampoo it, basically what shampoo does is it strips everything that's on your hair off of it. It also strips your natural oils. And then when I do co-wash, I basically will rinse out the hair mask, and then I'll go like this with my fingertips. Not your nails, but your fingertips. And you're really gonna wanna scrub your scalp. And then I go in with a good amount of conditioner, wrap it up, and clip it. So today I'm using this Clear Proof Deep Cleansing Charcoal Mask by Mary Kay, if there's any left. This mask is really cool because it's charcoal, and this is kind of cool and kind of gross. But it will show you where you're breaking out, your breakouts turn a different color. Although it doesn't always get rid of spots immediately, it does take away redness and swelling. And it is this little guy, and it is the Clear Proof Acne Treatment Medication Gel. But to be honest, my skin looks best, when I'm fully hydrated. There's also a vitamin called niacin. Get back in there. Not entirely sure what it's exactly for, but part of it is a detox, and it helps with your blood circulation, I do believe. And for a while I was taking niacin and drinking a bunch of water. And girl, when I tell you, my skin cleared up so fast. We're gonna start with Marilyn Manson because I personally love Marilyn Manson. I feel like there's a lot of like negative stigma around him. Like when they hear like Marilyn Manson, they're like, oh. I wanted to give a little bit of information on my favorite song by him. If you're friends with me on Facebook, you've probably seen me share this song on Facebook like 8 million times. It is called The Nobodies. I'm going to link the song in the description. Please pause this video and then come back. You need to listen to it to understand where I'm coming from. That song was basically written after Columbine. Marilyn Manson was basically blamed for Columbine. And the thing is that the kids weren't even fans of Marilyn Manson. Like, they didn't even listen to him. And one of the lyrics is, "We fed machines and then we prayed. You should have seen the ratings that day." As a society, we publicize tragedy and death and fear. We don't ever publicize anything that's good. You want your ratings to go up, or you want your views to go up. Traumatize somebody publicly, or videotape someone who's just lost a loved one. That's the best way to get publicity. Super messed up. Leading off of that, I wanted to explain. So, Marilyn Manson got his name from two very popular people, Charles Manson and Marilyn Monroe. During his era, Charles Manson and Marilyn Monroe were extremely popular. Were they popular? But they were popularized and publicized in almost the exact same way. On magazine covers, they were both all over the news. They were both everywhere. His whole basis of that name was, we idolize these awful, disgusting, gross individuals the exact same way we idolize people that we actually idolize. I guess as a society are some of the weirdest people ever. So anyway, there's that one. This is still drying, so I'm going to give you guys a few more interesting things. Everyone knows the Frosted Flakes, Corn Flakes, and basically all these other cereals, Rice Krispies, everything is basically made by Kellogg. Or Kellogg's? For the Office fans out there, it's like that episode where no one could figure out if Stanley had a mustache or not, but they like knew him forever. Me and Rodney were watching American Pickers, and they found a chair. John Harvey and Will Keith Kellogg, I can't exactly remember which one was which, but one was the chief of staff and one was the bookkeeper. They came out with a constipation chair. What this chair does is you sit on it and it like shakes your whole body super violently until you have to poop. And I'm just gonna take a wild guess that this was before high fiber snacks and granola bars came out, because I just thought it was super interesting that we eat cereals made by people that also made a constipation chair in the early 19th century. And it's also crazy that we have laxatives now, but before that, you just sat in a chair and shook until you pooped yourself. I watched that in an episode of American Pickers, and then something slightly weird happened, and I was like, okay, I just need to do these people in a segment, because what? And John Harvey Kellogg, who was either chief of staff or bookkeeper, invented Corn Flakes, but not just to be a wonderful cereal. He invented Corn Flakes to prevent sexual urges such as masturbation. And you guys cannot get mad at me for saying this because this is historic. I connected it to my American Pickers new fact, and I was like, these were some weird people. And while we're on the topic of weird stuff, I also wanted to mention that I like to watch Marilyn Manson interviews. They're super interesting, especially the old ones. The older ones are my absolute favorite, but there was one from 1995. And basically this whole interview, the guy that hosts it, that I forgot the name of, has all these kids, and he's basically talking about moshing. This is like kind of the beginning era of moshing and mosh pits. And he is just ripping these kids' asses. This guy is just degrading these kids. And they're anywhere from, I want to say, probably 17 to like 23, 24. One of the girls said that it was a way for her to relieve stress. And this guy's like, you are 23 years old and you're going to tell me that you have stress? Do you know what it's like to be 57? Just gets angry at these young adults saying that they're stressed. And I am 20 years old and look at this stress. By the way, guys, it's starting to show up, so you can see my breakout, it turns white. which I don't know what that's supposed to do. He basically goes on to tell the parents, hey, your kids are just beating the living shit out of each other, do something about it, and just kind of being really arrogant and close-minded. Let me put it this way. What truly is the difference between this and a mosh pit? You have two adults consenting to a fight. Brings Marilyn Manson on the show, and he's basically really ignorant and arrogant and just rude to Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Manson basically just defends the living shit out of these kids, you know, and just keeps a totally open mind. And it's just super awesome, and I love it. So if you guys have ever seen that episode of Family Guy where Chris starts like a heavy metal band and decides to like hate his parents and dye his hair all crazy and whatever, and they bring out, the parents meet Marilyn Manson and bring him back, and Marilyn Manson's like, it's really awesome to be respectful to your elders. That's literally like who Marilyn Manson is. Also gonna put a link in the description to that clip of that Family Guy episode, if you guys want to check that out too. Okay, so this is pretty much dry, so I'm going to go ahead and rinse this off, and then I'm also going to rinse out my hair. This is the conditioner I'm going to be using. I'm not going to do it on camera because I prefer to rinse out my hair in my bathtub. I'm going to be using this Garnier Whole Blends Smoothing Conditioner. This is what I use to dry my hair. I also really love this shirt though, so it's kind of both. And it's like this giant shirt that says I make this shirt look good. And I'm pretty sure it was my brother's at one point, but it's mine now. And he doesn't watch my videos, so he's not even gonna know. So yeah, see you in a minute. Hair is rinsed out. I will show you kind of how I dry it. So lately I haven't been using a curl cream at all. I still have face mask all over my face too. If you have curly hair, it's good for it to not dry in one position. And what you want to do is just move it all over your head while it's drying so it doesn't have a chance to lay flat in a specific area. If you have pets, do you know when you do a little butt scratch? Such a good boy. Who's a good boy? Who wants a little butt scratch? Like you do your head, but you want to like, who's a good boy, you know?